I don't really want to do this, but was challenged to do it. The letter sent by Cardinal Viganò to President Trump, warning him of what's happening in the United States and in the world today. Who is Cardinal Viganò? It's a Catholic bishop, a Catholic cardinal. It's kind of very, very conservative, and he warns the president of what's happening. We can see it too. It's a very long letter. You can read it on some of the news website. But what it is the whether we like it or not, or agree or not, or can see it, are aware of not, the elite means the rich people who thinks that they control it. Well, they do control everything, every part of business, what you do. In fact, and they cannot stand the fact that in the United States that we still have Americans who are so, well, like the Jewish people in the Bible, stubborn. Albeit we're not bad people, but we are stubborn in the sense that we are given a mind to think, and therefore free will to choose to accept or not accept what you have to sell us. So it's up to you to convince us. And that is kind of difficult. Not that they are not doing it, and they have been successful in doing it, but with news outlets, independent news outlets, independent people with independent minds coming out and giving a different narrative, changing the narrative and opposing them, it makes their job harder. They would like us to be like China, where a small group of elitist communist people, just 1,000 of them possibly, controls the whole 1.5 billion people in China. That is the utopia they want. So the Chinese Communist Party will tell the Chinese people, go and do business, make as much money as you can, but leave the governing to us. So the Chinese people really, they work all their lives, they have money, they buy houses, they travel, and that's all they are allowed to do. When it comes to ruling themselves, they have no say. And now when it comes to worshiping, when it comes to faith, they have no say, period. End of story. China does not allow any religion. It allows an official Catholic church. And even then, the Chinese Communist Party, whether you know it or not, have an agreement with the Pope in the Vatican to choose the bishops of the Catholic Church in China. And for that, I think it's rumored that the Communist Party gives the Vatican like $2 billion a year. And Pope Francis has just renewed that agreement. So here you see the danger of big, powerful people co-opting even religion. And Cardinal Nuncio warns against that. He tells of the Great Reset that is underway. Great Reset means, a small group of people controlling the narratives, like big pharmaceutical companies will tell you what you take and how you take it. For example, they're coming up with vaccines, and they would like to force it on everyone. You use the vaccine and you do this and you have a health card and you will be tracked all your lives. And that kind of thing, you have no say. And this is the official religion. You want religion? This is the official religion that I will allow. That there is no better way. You don't have to have such contentious elections every 4 years. Look at what's happening. We thought 2016 was contentious. We haven't seen anything yet. A few days more and it's over. But the forces behind Joe Biden is hardly doing anything, but there are powerful people, rich people putting money there by advertisement telling how bad President Trump is. It's like this communist Cuban or whatever. It's like all lies, 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 and can be effective in certain areas if you just watch the official television channels. That's what they are telling you too, because their bosses think that, and you have to follow to continue in that job. You have to follow what they tell you to say. So that's what's happening today, and more the Americans are fighting back and said, we will not listen to this official channels. We will, and what is happening? This pandemic is really a game changer for them. And in the sense of a few months, they've locked us down 7 months. And we look at Thanksgiving, and the governor of California said, well, you cannot have too many people, not more than 5 families, and you must social distance. You must do, it's a family gathering, for crying out loud. It's not like you let the protesters out there running wild without social distancing or masks or anything. Why don't you say something, right? Right. But for us, families cannot gather together. Churches, we cannot go to church. If you go to a supermarket, only a small crowd goes in. When one leaves, then another one goes in. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm not used to this. We are not used to this. So here, Viganò is writing a letter to President Trump, warning him and telling him that it is those forces, those evil forces are coming at us. It's the children of darkness against children of light, and the world doesn't like to hear this kind of thing, good and evil, sons of light and sons of darkness. For them, there's no such thing as good or bad. Everything, whatever they say, goes, and it's easier for them to make money, to be richer than God himself. And if you look at what's happening, the big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, are all censoring conservative thinking, conservative talk, especially we who are fighting Islam every day on YouTube knows how YouTube is censoring Christian apologist content every day. And Twitter and Facebook is censoring us. For what reason? I thought there is freedom of speech, it's freedom of thought. No, it's their freedom, not yours. You are supposed to toe their line, not be independent thinkers, and they cannot. So the suppression is more and more so, and we have kind of reached that breaking point, in a sense that it's never been so great as today, that if we lose to them today, if our candidate, President Trump, lose to them today, it's over for us, for the free world. Europe is really kind of, the suppression of Europe is almost complete, really. And we in the United States is kind of the last bastion of freedom of thought, freedom of speech, that we quote the Bible, whether it's offensive language or not, that is what we believe. And the other alternative is, if our voices are suppressed, then you have another religion that takes its place. Regardless of how powerful the elitists are in suppressing religion, they cannot suppress all religions. As we have seen in France, they have trouble suppressing that religion, that violent and terrorizing religion. But they're trying to suppress us in the sense that if we suppress one religion, then we'll suppress everything. But we will not be silent. And Cardinal Viganò warns against this to President Trump. I know it's a lot to take in for one person. The past 4 years, he's been opposed at every turn. And today, at the cusp of winning re-election, the forces against him has never been stronger. But thank God to for individual thinkers like me, like others, that we are kind of holding the fort, pushed back. But we can only get on our knees and say, Lord, the one who is with us is stronger than he who is in the world. They put their strength in technology, but we put our strength in the Spirit of God. And we pray for our President Trump, because he's not the only a president, but he more or less represents our hopes for the future, the hope of continuing to be free people, free to worship. But till today, till since March, we're not able to go to church, not even meet in the parking lot or anything. And it's, and if Biden should come in, he will say lockdown again. He's already said, I'm all for a second lockdown. But President Trump said, no more lockdown. The UK is seeing a second lockdown. France is seeing a second lockdown. Italy too, I know. And France, so people in Paris are just running out to the countryside. They said, I will not be locked down in the city. They're buying up. It's like March all over again with the lockdown. You're running to the grocery store, buying staples, buying toilet paper. So, this is insane. Yeah, we now know more about COVID than we did in March. Let's put it this way. We have therapeutics done. We know what works and what does not work. We have all the equipment. We have hospital beds. We don't need this kind of draconian lockdown anymore. You can read Cardinal Viganò's letter, open letter to President Trump on Gateway Pundit and a few other sources. And like I said, they are going to take away our Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God. It's like even the Democrats left out that line, one nation under God, to pander to their Islamic constituents, their Islamic supporters. And this is, this is not acceptable. That's why we are here in this nation. If this nation falls, where are we going to move to? That means we will be like communist China. And we will not allow this to happen. With every breath in me, with every strength in my muscles and blood, we'll fight and will not let this happen. And I pray that you too will join us in prayer for this nation, because if this nation stands, the world stands. If this nation falls, the world falls. And as he ends by saying, Mr. President, you are well aware that in this crucial hour, the United States is considered defending the war against the war declared by globalism.